So starting things off then with the Friday night game where Leeds got a deserved 2-0 win. That has been very important considering teams around them drop points such as Leicester and Ipswich both dropping points the weekend. So this was a massive result for them against a Sheffield Wednesday team that has recently found their form. Like I say, they dominated all the stats and definitely deserved to win away from home, which was very impressive. One they can take into next week's action. Next up we have Cardiff and they faced Ipswich. Now obviously Ipswich have a lot more of the ball and Cardiff are on two very late goals here. Both in added time. Ipswich can feel aggrieved at that, but they didn't deserve to win in my opinion. Obviously, if you look at the expected goals, total shots, shots on target, Cardiff dominate all of those things. And to be fair, I think a draw was at least the it deserved, but getting the winner definitely would have helped things for them going into the next couple of matches. Now over to Ewood Park, where Blackburn were very fortunate to come away with anything from this game. Obviously, Plymouth just didn't take their chances. They had a lot more of the ball despite being away from home. And in a relegation 6-pointer, Plymouth would have been very gutted to not come away with all 3 points. But they'll definitely take a point, as especially at one point it looked like they were going to come away with nothing. But as I say, Plymouth a lot to build on for next time out. Over to the MKM now, where 4 goals were shared equally in this one. Despite Hull taking the lead twice and missing a penalty, they couldn't quite get over the line here, as Leicester pegged them back both times. And to be fair, they definitely did deserve at least a draw, as they dominated most of the stats. It was a fairly even on possession, but total shots and expected goals, Leicester did definitely dominate, which suggests to me that they didn't quite test the goalkeeper enough, and they'd look to improve on that next time out, as they try and put an end to this really poor run that they've been on. Obviously, getting that win in midweek made me think they would win here, but couldn't quite get over the line. As for Hull, they need to start winning some games again if they are going to want to stay in and around the playoff places. Next up, we're at the Den, where a late goal managed to get Millwall's 3 points. Again, under Neil Harris, continuous fantastic start they've had under him. It was a fairly even game, this one. Obviously, Birmingham was slightly better when it came to shots and expected goals, but they couldn't get a goal. And to be fair to Millwall, they took their chances, and at the end of the day, in games like this, that's all that matters is the 3 points. I tell you what, Millwall will be very delighted with this result going into the next game, and for them, it's just about getting away from that relegation zone, which it looks like they're doing under new boss Neil Harris. Next up, we head to Carrow, where I don't really know what to say about this one. From a Rotherham standpoint, that's 2 beatings in 1 week. Obviously, they're going to be just completely deflated. There's no real hope for them staying up anymore. 2 absolute demolitions in the same week will just ruin their confidence. And Norwich, while they might not have deserved to get 5 goals, they definitely deserved to win the game. They were the better side, and from a Rotherham point of view, I'd start planning for next season and life back in League One. From a Norwich perspective, a massive bounce back from the disappointment in midweek against Middlesbrough, and something they can take into the next game as they continue to try and stay now in that playoff position. Over to Deep Down now, where Preston got a very disappointing loss against Stoke City. Now, obviously, they had more of the ball, but Stoke definitely did create more when they had it, with more shots on target, and a higher expected goals. You can't say that Stoke didn't deserve to win here. From a Preston point of view, you'd want the performance to improve next time out as they continue to try and get into the playoff places. For Stoke's point of view, a massive 3 points if they try and stay up and stay in the Championship for another season. I think they're going to be fine. They've definitely got the squad to do it. They've looked a lot better in the last couple of matches. So from their standpoint, I'd be a little bit more confident about staying in the league for at least another year. Over to Loftus Road, where Middlesbrough managed to make it back-to-back wins, but I don't think they deserved it this time, as QPR definitely did put on a good performance here, and one that would have at least warranted them getting a result from this one. Perhaps, I don't know, a draw would have been a fair result in terms of Middlesbrough definitely did take their chances, but QPR can feel aggrieved here, and let's hope for them that they don't let this knock them too much after they've been on a fantastic run lately. One loss shouldn't really harm themselves too much, and they really need to keep going if they want to stay in the league. And from Middlesbrough point of view, back-to-back wins, absolutely massive. Michael Carrick's just slowly relieving a bit of pressure that was on him as they hope to secure a stable mid-table position for them, and I think they're going to do it. Over to St Mary's, where Southampton absolutely battered Sunderland. I don't think Sunderland can have many issues with this result. Despite taking an early lead, Southampton managed to just keep piling away and extending that lead. Sunderland, they tried to come back a couple of times, but they never quite managed it. And I did say Southampton definitely did deserve to win this game. And for Sunderland, it's not looking like it's going to be a good season for them, as that is another loss and continues their winless run. And a lot of pressure is being put on the manager now. After such a great season last time out, I'm wondering where it's all gone wrong this time around. Over to Vicarage Road now, where it was the manager's last game. Tom Cleverley's obviously just come in as a new Watford manager, and do you know what? I think they could be a team that could be struggling, as they've not got many easy games. I mean, obviously there's no easy games in the Championship, but if you're looking on paper, they've got one of the harder run-ins. This was almost one of their more favourable games, but Coventry got over the line, and back-to-back wins for them is absolutely massive. They want to get themselves back into that playoff contention. From a Watford point of view, they put on a good show. I mean, they gave a good account themselves. Couldn't quite put the ball in there enough times, and they had to pay the price for it. Like I say, from a Coventry point of view, they weren't at their best on Saturday, but getting over the line was exactly what they needed, and that's exactly what they did. So from their point of view, it's a job well done. Moving on to the Sunday games, where Huddersfield were unlucky here. West Brom took their chances, obviously scoring a couple of thunderbolts into the goal. And from a Huddersfield point of view, like I say, they played better in my opinion. Obviously, they didn't have as much of the ball, but they definitely did more with it. Higher expected goals, more shots, but that says to me they didn't put the ball on target enough. And from a Huddersfield point of view, there's a lot of positives to take from this, but when you are as low down in the league as they are at the minute, it doesn't matter about how well you play, you've just got to get points on the board, and it's not what they did today. And say West Brom, they're continuing to keep themselves in that playoff place and continuing to have a great season. On to the final game, where Swansea definitely showed that possession doesn't equal goals, as they had a lot more of the ball than Bristol City, but didn't get over the line, and I think that is just a credit to Bristol City's defence. The fact that they let them have this much of the ball, but just managed to soak up the pressure, not let them have too many clear-cut chances, and they definitely took theirs, as they got a 1-0 win, which is absolutely massive for Liam Manning, as pressure is starting to build on him, but a win like this will relieve a little bit of that. From a Swansea perspective, a lot to take away from this game, a lot of positives, but I think you've got to work on your finishing, and definitely creating more and more opportunities. So a disappointing one for Swansea, but one for Bristol City to hopefully use as a bit of momentum now going forwards. So that just about rounds us up. Thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.